following is for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Jeez, hard to watch.
Well, looks like we're walking. Should be a straight shot through here.
All right.
It's actually kind of pretty, ain't it?
Yeah.
Welcome back, guys, to our playthrough of The Last of Us. Okay, so I think Ellie is a little bit confused. She doesn't know what's going on. She has been taken from the Firefly Hospital thinking that she couldn't help or do anything to be of any use or value. And Joel's, I guess, taking the scenic route home. I do want to walk back here, though. How far can I go back? Really far. Which is weird because the road is, like, blocked off now by grass and stuff. Like, what? How did we get here, Joel? Just got really dark from this angle. Did we block out the sun? Yeah, we blocked out the sun. Oh, and then it shows up. Yeah, so we pull up in the vehicle, but there's no other way to get here. I wonder if most players go down that direction. All right, let's go ahead and continue on.
All right.
It's got to be crazy
What's your head going through?
what Joel's going through mentally right now.
Feeling my age now.
I'm still.
I don't think I ever told you, but Sarah and I used to take hikes like this. I think the two of you would have been good friends. I think you really would have liked it. I know she'd have liked you.
I bet I would have.
Yeah, you can tell Ellie feels weird.
Down there.
Oh, weird. The camera's super sensitive right here for some reason. Okay.
Just a little bit further now.
Joel's emotional state, knowing that he just sacrificed the entire world, has got to be something that it weighs so heavy on his soul. Oh, but if we look close enough, you can see people walking around down there. I wonder how detailed their character models are, because like we can't like choose weapons or anything, so I can't like even zoom in a little bit further. You see just a handful of people all walking there. I wanted to do this as a separate video from the last one because the last one was kind of long, but I also don't know how much there is left in the game. I know we have the DLC.
I got you. Give me your hand.
But this episode might be a little short. We'll see.
All right, come on.
Hey, wait.
Here we go.
Back in Boston, back when I was bitten, I wasn't alone. My best friend was there, and she got bit too. We didn't know what to do. So, she says, let's just wait it out. You know, we can be all poetic and just lose our minds together. I'm still waiting for my turn.
Ellie.
Her name was Riley, and she was the first to die. And then it was Tess. And then Sam.
None of that is on you.
Oh, you don't understand.
I struggled for a long time with surviving. And you... No matter what, you keep finding something to fight for. Now, I know that's not what you want to hear right now.
Swear to me. Swear to me that everything that you said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna get a copyright claim for this hour. Can I skip through this? I don't want to skip the movie because there is a little bit more that goes on here. We're not necessarily done with the cinematics, and I'm afraid that if I skip past these credits, then I'll get screwed, and I can't fast forward it in any way. But, okay, whatever. We'll do the thing that I usually do when the game ends, and we'll just have a little conversation about it. So, The Last of Us is one of my favorite games for many reasons. The gameplay is fantastic. The visuals are just as good as the gameplay and the story. It just feels good. Everything about the game feels good, except for some of the emotional heartstrings that you have pulled literally from your body when characters that you enjoy are killed. Sam, Henry, Tess, I mean, the list goes on. Now, there is still more gameplay that'll be a part of this series, which you'll see in the next episode. That'll be I think the prequel DLC. So she talks about her friend Riley. There is a DLC that has her and Riley doing her thing. I'm not sure how many episodes that'll be or how long that DLC is. I did beat it before, but I forget how long it is. But it'll be at least one more episode. But you'll see in the playlist of this playthrough how many that there will be. And then, obviously, you'll be able to jump into The Last of Us 2 after the fact, which expands on their world. But I feel like I have input on where I want the series to go, but having already beaten The Last of Us 2, I played that whole thing first, recorded it all, and saved it on the side first so I could play this game and record and then post videos like same day or same week or whatever. So I have 20 some videos of The Last of Us 2 that I'm going to be pumping out that you'll see in a separate playlist. It may already be up for you now, but if you're just watching this video and the time that I'm publishing, it's not quite up yet, but it'll be up on the channel eventually is what I'm saying. So I don't want to say where I want the series to go, only for the sheer fact that I know that a lot of what I'm going to say would be reflective upon what I know of The Last of Us Part 2, and so I want to keep that to myself. But I will say this, The Last of Us 2, also a great game. Really enjoyed that. Better than the first one, in my opinion. At least some gameplay mechanics-wise, but we'll talk about that later. Let's focus on the first game. Love the story here. Love the characters. I do feel bad, though, that I stopped the episode, the last episode where I did, and then jumped right into this one. Neil Druckmann, you are a god. I love your writing. So good. Obviously, he didn't do it himself, I'm sure, but he's still great. Ashley Johnson, love her so much, too. Troy Baker is Joel. I had no idea that Troy Baker was so young compared to Joel's obvious age. Troy Baker also did the Nolan North, the dudes and everything that Naughty Dog does. Troy Baker was also the Joker in Batman Arkham Origins, which is another playthrough that I was posting simultaneously at the time of this playthrough. They were coinciding. So I typically do 2 episodes a day, right? 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. 10 p.m. is the Mark After Dark scary stuff or, mature games or whatever. But it was just kind of funny to play 2 games at the same time where you take control of a character that interacts with someone done by Troy Baker, and the Joker and Joel are so different from one another. It was just really amazing to see his range. He is fantastic. Also love the soundtrack. You can't see it, but back here I have on display the Last of Us soundtrack collector's edition on vinyl. It's a very thick vinyl, a collection of vinyl records. It's amazing. Love that too so much. The story, I think one of the most emotional things for me in this is when Sarah died. You're immediately pulled in and you play as that character and you fall in love with her wit, you fall in love with her charm as a character, and you're really pulled into her world. It's just, you don't really expect that her world is very small. She dies so fast that it hits you so hard too, and that's the surprise. That's how great the storytelling is in this. And Ellie also fills that void as well. She very quickly fills that void with the player, which should make sense because it also fills the void in Joel's life once he starts to open up a little bit. He lets his guard down, he becomes vulnerable with her, and he starts allowing her in, right? His walls are pulled down, and she comes in, and they're together. But it's weird. I think about this sort of scenario sometimes because The Last of Us was a very big gameplay experience for me. The Last of Us 2 as well. So overall, I'm very connected to these characters and what happens to them. And I think about the situation that they were in together, where Ellie, it's either Ellie or the rest of the world. If you're a parent, and I'm not a parent, but if you are a parent, I would have to imagine that you'd have a very difficult time sacrificing one of your children for the greater good. The parental mindset, even though Ellie is not his blood daughter, she feels that connection. They spent so much time together on this crazy journey of survival and personal growth and everything in between that I don't blame Joel so much. And the thing is when you look at the conflict between not only trying to save yourself, but to save a child, he's looking at through like a tunnel vision, right? I guess a tunnel would be like this. So he's got this tunnel vision where it's like, this is her life. Like, she's very special, not just because she's immune, but the things that she does, the things that she knows, her energy, her wit, her charm, her life force, her soul, everything about her. Taking that away when she has no say in whether or not she's going to sacrifice herself is tough. Makes you wonder, though, what would have happened if the Fireflies would have talked to Ellie first and been like, hey, like, you have to sacrifice your life to save everyone. Are you cool with that? No idea whether or not she would have said yes. Marlene, in the end of the last episode, was like, this is what she would have wanted. And Joel was like, I don't care. Bam! And blew Marlene's head right off. I don't know. And knowing, at least in this episode, where Ellie is sort of skeptical of Joel's words, but he looks at her intensely with love and conviction and says, no, like, I promise, this is the truth. You know, there was nothing we could have done to help the Fireflies. The thing is I don't know. If Joel would have told her the actual truth, like, would he have lost her right there? Would she have ran back to the Fireflies? Maybe if she would have been the stubborn type that she would have just stolen a horse in the middle of the night and rode right off to go back to that hospital and give herself to the Fireflies. I love this song. I'm going to get copyright claimed, though. I can't tell you how many episodes of games that I've gotten copyright claimed on. Not strikes, surprisingly, but claims on. Too many. I don't monetize most of my videos at this time anyway. I'm too early in my YouTube career to be feeling like I should monetize. So it doesn't really matter if I can't turn monetization on due to the copyright claims, because I don't really like ads on my videos. Unless it's like got a lot of views, in which case I'm like, okay, flip that switch. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes, you know what I mean? I don't think I've ever said that phrase before in my life. And I feel embarrassed that I did, so I hope you can forgive me. The Havoc engine. Okay, I think there's a little more credit, and then I think there's like a Marvel stinger at the end. Come on. Please tell me there is. Oh, come on. Son of a... I thought there was another thing. I wonder... Hold on. Is it... Continue new game plus? Damn it. No, there was supposed to be... Ah, damn. Hold on. Hold on. There was something that I think... Did I miss it in the last episode? Last of Us... Ending... Abby. Let me see. I gotta see this real fast. There's something I want to pull up real fast. Alright, let's see the plot. Okay, they didn't show it. I thought they did. Let's see. They don't mention this. I thought for sure that they did. I don't... Okay. Hold on. I need to look up on the Last of Us wiki because there was something that I wanted to look at. I thought that there was a teaser of what the future of the game was going to be, but now I can't say anything or comment on it because it might not be. I want to look at the fandom wiki, not Wikipedia. New. Last of Us. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Plot. Come on, don't give me that. Here we go. Let's see. Winter. Let's skip all the way up to the end. Spring. Okay. So this is sort of a recap from the last episode. I'm just going to read what the Last of Us wiki has because it has some really great stuff. Technically, it's the fandom. thelastofus.fandom.com/wiki. Okay. Joel drives in silence for some time. Again, this is what happens in the last episode a little bit. Just making sure that my mug is in this. Let me adjust the camera real fast. There we go. That ugly face in there. Okay, here we go. Joel drives in silence for some time. Then a bit of stirring can be heard in the background as Ellie is seen waking up in the back seat. She asks him what happened, and Joel lies to her as he recalls the events that transpired in the parking lot. He had shot Marlene to prevent her from coming after Ellie, but Ellie tells her the Fireflies have already stopped looking for a cure, and that she is not the only human immune to CBI, which is, the infection. Ellie turns away silently in disappointment, and Joel apologizes as he continues to drive back to Tommy's dam. Okay. And then the epilogue, which is what we just experienced, which I thought was going to be longer, so I apologize that it wasn't. I'm trying to drag this out a little bit to make this video worth your time. Back in Jackson County, Joel is looking under the hood of their vehicle, and a still dejected Ellie lightly traces her infected bite wound as she thinks about their trip to the Fireflies lab. Joel declares that they'll be walking from this point, and the two continue to make their way to Tommy's settlement on foot. On the way there, Ellie stops Joel and confronts him about his version of events that transpired earlier. She expresses her survivor's guilt, mentioning all their friends who have died and succumbed to CBI, and wonders if she could have done more to end the pandemic. She asks Joel to swear to her that everything he told her about the Fireflies is true, and he does. She hesitantly accepts his answer. Damn, I thought that there was like another clip. I would have skipped that entire credits situation if that was the case. I'm actually annoyed now that I thought that. I don't know why. I must have read somewhere that there was more and there's not, because I'm not seeing that in here. I do wonder if there's maybe a New Game Plus thing here that gives you more. I know we have, if you look in the top left, you can see The Last of Us and The Left Behind. Left Behind is the prequel story, which we're going to play. Not this episode, but we are going to do it. Let me see where. Oh, damn it. Joel Miller. No, let's not see. Let's see. Yeah, we can't see that. I can't say anything without ruining what goes on in the next one. This is what I will say. And this should be obvious, which I think will be just as the only thing that... not a spoiler. But you can't do what Joel has done without consequence. Okay? Let's just reflect for a moment. Joel made a promise to Marlene, Queen Firefly, the leader, that he and Tess would deliver Ellie. Tess died on their journey, which turns out was in vain. And Joel decided not to follow through with their plans, and he killed the leader of the Fireflies. Now, when Joel was leaving the hospital with Ellie, there were a lot of Fireflies that were there, right? He got in the elevator, and he managed to escape while they were trying to get to him. He got to the parking structure, whatever, was able to get the car, secure that for their getaway, killed Marlene, and boom, whatever. You saw everything else that happened. There's a lot of pissed off Fireflies. And I was going to say this, that Joel is... Joel and Ellie both killed a lot of people in this game. I wish there was a stats thing in here. It would have been really cool to know how many people we would have killed. That would have been freaking sweet. And I wonder the factions multiplayer, other players online for supplies to grow your clan. I've never played that. I don't even think I care to do that. Let's see what they look. Control display, audio, credits, downloadables. I'm just curious. DLC. PlayStation Store, what do you got for me? Remastered Treacherous Territories, remastered Tactical Weapons. These are, gestures? No, those are all dumb. No one would pay for these now. I don't care, whatever. With everyone that they killed, most of those people, no, all of those people tried to kill them too. So I don't think they ever tried to kill people unjustly. I don't think that happened in the game. I don't think Ellie or Joel, neither one of them, Ellie nor Joel, killed any single person that didn't deserve it. Anyway. Well, here's the thing. We're going to jump into the Left Behind DLC in the next episode of the playthrough. This is a short episode. You know what? I might just upload this at the same time as the next episode too, because this is kind of short and I feel bad having a 20-minute. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'll leave this as its own individual episode. That'll give me a little more time to put more quality and focus into the next video after this. So that's what we'll do. We'll just keep it as an individual episode. So I apologize that it's shorter. I don't like things to be inconsistent. I like to be clean, precise, and consistent with what I do. So some of the episodes are a little bit longer due to like some of what's going on in those episodes, and I just don't feel right stopping in the moment. So that happens, and I give myself a pass in that. But for this case, I thought there was going to be more content here, more conversation, more of a walking experience for them, and there wasn't. There was a lot to be desired. I should have included this in the last episode, so I apologize. So this is sort of a short, less beefy episode, but that's just how it is sometimes. We'll launch this one as its own individual episode, like I said, at 10 p.m., and then we'll jump into Left Behind right after this. So when you're watching this video, again, I hope you're okay with the fact that it was too short. But Left Behind, like I said, is a prequel story that focuses on Riley and Ellie and how she got bit and all that stuff. It's a lot of fun. We're going to go and do that. So for now, if you enjoyed this very short video with very little content in it, be sure to hit the like button. Do not forget to subscribe. If you have any feedback for me, leave it in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as possible, and I'll see you next time when we continue with our Last of Us playthrough, doing the Left Behind DLC, and then after that we'll get to The Last of Us Part 2. So hopefully you guys look forward to it. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Looking forward to playing, and I'll see you next time when we continue on with Left Behind. Alright guys, take care, be well, and hopefully I'll see you then. Later.